Don't call me a goat head.
I think it's better. Okay. Wait, what did you do?
Okay.
Welcome to ASP Stuff Radio, the internet radio show where we beat the stuff out of topics like Adolf Hitler and Donald Trump, cat whiskers and fish farts, DeGrasse's earth-shattering vocals, and Krause's quivering neck jowl. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's because I'm full of stuff. It's March 5th. Joining me today are my Greek companions, Socrates and Plato. Philosophers of stuff, welcome.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Plus,
Cartel.
gonna build a wall on you.
Cartel coffee.
Soy filósofo. How do you say that in Spanish?
Filosofera. Filosofera.
Filosofía.
Are there no Spanish? There's Spanish philosophers, right? Spinoza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Albert's favorite.
Why aren't we Spanish?
¿Por qué no puedes hablar español? ¿Por qué?
That's it. That's all he's got.
That's it. That's it.
It was good. It had perfect.
So how's your
perfect
Greek?
accent.
Wait, what?
How's your Greek?
My Greek is horrible. In fact, it's so bad I can't even speak it.
But you know some Socrates and Plato and
Socrates. I know the names, Greek names, but that's it.
Falafel?
Philosophical. Philosophical.
Spanakopita? Or
Aristotle.
I know falafel. I know baba ganoush. Tahuti.
Tzatziki sauce.
Tahini.
tzatziki?
Takziki.
Tzatziki.
Zakazika Zuka.
Please clap.
Yay. All right. So I'm on site within the Arizona main studios.
Yeah, Stephen Felice is right next to me in the Stuff headquarters in Ugaba.
That's the exact
Undisclosed
location.
in the Middle East.
Yeah, we're top secret, confidential, Area 67.
And then in December, I was in the most southern studios, or ASP studio.
The second branch of Stuff
Second
Radio.
branch.
In Mexico?
Somewhere in Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Mexico. Mexico.
That-
So we got a compact show. We're going to try to do it underneath underwater, under 60 minutes.
Oh, within the actual time we're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
Ooh.
That hurt my feelings.
Most people attention span only goes through about 20 minutes. So
Yeah, so we're way above that.
Uh-oh. Is that,
we're going to talk about some interesting stuff.
So if we keep talking about Trump, people will...
is that a fact, though, about the 20-minute thing?
No, well, most podcast, like if it's a weekly type of podcast, they try to go no more than 50 minutes.
Well, on a Snapple cap, I saw that a goldfish attention span is about 3 seconds, which is comparable to the Trump voter attention span.
Yeah, I think they have a longer attention span, right? The goldfish.
They might.
I don't know how my philosophy students survive an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, didn't you have a student that was about to ask a question,
Oh,
he
that's
raised
right.
his hand, and then he said, I'll get right back to you.
And then 30 seconds later, he zonked out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that attention was about 30 seconds.
He's probably got the attention span of a what do you call those little tadpoles?
I don't know, just tadpoles.
So you were like Jeb Bush trying to get everybody
Yeah.
to back
Please
you
clap.
up to wake up.
Yeah. Please clap.
Please wake up.
I asked the class, am I hallucinating? Did you not see his hand raised and now he's not responding? He's zonked out.
And they then quickly zonked out themselves.
He zonked out.
All right.
That doesn't bode well for this podcast.
No.
So we got to get into the meat
Okay.
right away.
Well, first of all,
Add to the noise.
Yeah.
so we have, first of all, I have one of our dedicated listeners by the name of 9C.
Is that a robot?
She's is a dedicated listener of ASP Stuff Radio, and she wants to know how Myra handled her prolific farting coworker, if that issue was resolved.
She hasn't had to work with him since then, so
Okay.
I don't think there's been a resolution. It's still literally up in the air.
Literally up in the air.
So the fart is up in the air.
Up in the air.
Gas.
The gas is just collecting.
I think she's working with him today.
So is the
I'll have to get an
farts
update.
are now in the troposphere? Or eating away at the ozone.
The troposphere.
What was left of the ozone is now burnt off.
Thanks to the coworker.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
I'll have to get an update next week.
So because of this coworker, we're all sucking in soot.
sucking in shards.
Sucking in something.
Sucking
Particulates.
in particulates.
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 Yeah. If you listened to last week, you'd know all about particulates.
I heard all that.
Do you want to hear
I literally heard all that.
the literal.
Literal.
Okay, literally your eardrum heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain processed it through your ear canal.
It was figuratively blowing my mind.
All of those particulates and whatnot.
So you should
all up there.
You should always use that adjective, figuratively, literally, to be clear.
And just in case, all of the whatnot.
And the whatnots.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to play the fish fart story.
All right, we're going to start on a great note.
Yeah.
On a stinky note.
You might expect the middle of the Pacific Ocean to be a pretty quiet place, especially 1,000 feet down, but huge parts of the ocean are humming. Scientists have been trying to figure out what it is for several years, and as NPR's Christopher Joyce reports, they now have their answer, and it's a real surprise.
We usually hear the ocean when it meets the land, where waves roll up onto the beach. But marine scientists like to listen to the deep ocean, where they drop hydrophones overboard, underwater microphones, to listen for things like humpback whales calling to each other. But a few years ago, those hydrophones picked up something weird. It was faint, but different from the normal background sound.
It's definitely more as if you're sitting on an airplane and it's humming, buzzing.
Simone Bauman-Pickering is a biologist at the Scripps Institute of Oceanography in California. She says the sound starts as the sun sets, stops overnight, then picks up again for 2 hours at dawn. Now, biologists know that huge clouds of small fish hide in the dark, deep water during the day and then rise up near the surface to feed at night. And the hydrophones revealed that the fish make the ocean hum when they rise and fall. It could be they're signaling each other that it's time to move, or...
It could be, for example, it's known that some fish are considered to be farting, that they emit gas as they change in the depths in the water column.
The gas comes from a swim bladder inside the fish that controls its buoyancy. Imagine billions of fish literally jetting up and down in the ocean every day. This would have to be the largest migration on the planet.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Bauman-Pickering described her research at an ocean science meeting today. She says it raises an interesting question. Could all this noise be like a dinner bell, attracting large predators to these clouds of small fish? Nobody knows, she says. Christopher Joyce, NPR News.
You might expect the middle.
Okay,
so why would that be a dinner bell? I would think that would detract all these predators because they're smelling in all the fumes.
Oh, God. You smell that, Henry?
Is that the name of the shark, Henry?
Henry's the name of the shark.
All right, Henry the shark.
Dinner time, fish flatulence.
Animals think differently than humans. They smell farts and they think,
tasty morsel. You smell that?
That seems backwards.
So I like how he says literally jetting upstream. So the fart is propelling the fishes.
She could have said they're passing gas. I think that would have been a little more sophisticated.
Yeah, this is an NPR story, and she said, I like fish farting. I like fish farting.
So it happens just before sunset, they said, and then right before dawn or something?
It's about when the farts come about. Yeah, around that time.
So they
after dinner and after they eat breakfast.
They don't eat lunch.
No
lunch for these fish.
So the noise that you hear is farts, fish farts, I guess.
But it all keeps the food chain balance in the ocean. So
without those farts, you'd probably have a disruption in the ecosystem.
Yeah, you need those farts.
You'd have all kinds of species becoming extinct.
Mm-hmm. The stink keeps them from being extinct.
That's true.
Please clap.
job, boy.
Good job. Good job. Thank you, everyone. Clap. Clap, damn it.
No,
Clap.
no,
Speaking of
there's no more Jeb.
Speaking of extinct, yes, Jeb Bush is gone, and so is Ben Carson.
What?
He just
When
fell
did he
asleep.
enter the?
Yeah, when did he
race?
enter? I thought he just entered and quit in one day.
He was there. He just,
Changed some clothes and that was it.
forgot to come back. Fell asleep while he was
Changed
changing
a pair of
clothes.
underwear. He farted in his underwear in the ocean with the fish.
Could have.
He was
Literally.
jetting upstream, literally.
Literally propelling himself.
Okay, so that's that topic.
Quick.
Is there any? I mean,
Rapid
is there
fire.
an impact to the world that this fish farting?
No, I just liked
Provides-
how I just thought it was interesting.
No, but that's a great thing about NPR. They'll talk about anything and everything at any given time.
Well, the impact of that story is one, that guy didn't have his balls clipped, so that's nice.
Was a girl.
Well, both the guy and the girl.
Okay.
And she said farts and sounds in the ocean are not what you think they are.
Well, we
So,
want
it's-
more. We want cat fart stories now.
yeah, it sounds like NPR is desperate for listeners.
Yeah.
They're really reaching there.
we gotta be on the edge. We have to take it up a notch. And how about instead of saying fart flatulence, you say fish farts instead of fish flatulence?
We need a good story.
Yeah.
You got this fish fart story. How about that one?
Yeah. That'll definitely compete
Let's
with all
lead
that.
with that.
Yeah, that'll compete with the Trump talk going on. Fish farts, Jerry.
Well, they'll visit the world of science every once in a while, so that's part of it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
So I have to play this because I heard about this debate between Rubio and Trump and the hands.
All right. This is an exciting story.
Did you hear about that? I didn't hear about it until Steven mentioned it yesterday.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
It is pathetic. So I found a 2-minute clip summary of this whole debacle between Trump and Rubio and their hands and their parts.
He's always calling me Little Marco. And I'll admit, the guy, he's taller than me, he's like 6'2", which is why I don't understand why his hands are the size of someone who's 5'2". Have you seen his hands? They're like this. And you know what they say about men with small hands? You can't trust them.
He said I had small hands. Actually, I'm 6'3", not 6'2", but he said I had small hands. They're not small, are they? I never heard that one before. I've always had people say, Donald, you have the most beautiful hands.
Beautiful.
Right? He hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands?
They're laughing.
And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it.
Parents watching last night, kids watching too. You and Donald Trump have traded personal insults in recent days, and Trump responding last night to your comments about the size of his hands. And without going any further, this is a morning show. You have young children. Do you regret where this has gone?
Look, I regret the way the campaign has become, absolutely, because Donald Trump for the last year has made it one of the most vulgar spectacles in American political history.
So when little Marco spews his crap about the size of my hands, which are big, the size of my hand, those hands can hit a golf ball 285 yards, right? Those are good, strong. So what do? For the rest of my life, I have the curse that I have little hands. Little hands.
Yeah. That's
Interesting.
America,
Whoa.
everyone. That's our country.
And that's actually what they want to hear. That's what's at the forefront of our media. The size of Trump's hands.
Yeah. That's what people want.
That's what's going to get those
That's what
voters
they're
out of their
getting.
houses.
The uneducated people love that material. Hands and penises.
Oh, he said that. Oh, you got to bleep that out.
Oh,
Got to bleep it.
oh.
So, Marco Rubio has stooped to that level.
Yeah.
Marco Roboto.
Marco Crazio.
Yeah.
Those hands can hit a golf ball 285 yards.
Whoa, he's like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
He can hit a ball with his hands?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was referring to his other thing.
No, just a club.
Oh, the club.
Yeah.
Those hands. I thought he literally those hands could hit a golf club.
No, it's usually with the golf club.
So that's what our candidates are debating.
It's kind of like a game show, these debates.
It's a reality show. It's you can call it the presidential candidate. And it's just pick who you think is the loudest, most vulgar, most incompetent candidate and just vote for that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if how in sports like the hockey all-star game or baseball all-star game or whatever, they let you vote for the starters.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people will vote for like some guy who has no business being an all-star.
Like Kobe Bryant this year?
Yeah, like Kobe Bryant, or in the NHL all-star game they had that one Phoenix
Arizona
Coyotes
bruiser guy.
What
do they call those guys?
I don't know.
Yeah, but they just go around hitting people, right?
Yeah, one of those guys. So
starting fights.
That's what this is. It's just
it's not. But they're not. They're not going to pick anybody. It's going to be Trump because he's the most. He's a celebrity and he's the most entertaining.
So Rubio figures he needs to stoop to that level.
That's what his advisors are probably.
He has
telling
no other he has no chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to take a chance and see if that'll work. And it really isn't, because the only person who's going to benefit from that is Trump, as people like to see his response to those things.
But you'd agree he's now in the limelight. I mean, before he was saying some of these things, before he was throwing mud, so to speak, like Trump was always accustomed to doing.
Debate, wasn't he more? He was trying to actually attack his policies and get on him about.
But then people start to fall asleep.
But that. No, I think...
Except for the educated. The educated voters, they want to hear what the policy is. They want to hear what the candidates' plans are when they get in office. But Trump knows that puts most of his voters to sleep.
The uneducated, deep South, part of the country.
Yeah, but see...
Well, it's all over the place.
It's the interior. It's outside of the coastal areas.
Well, how many states? Because
the U.S.
Super Tuesday, what were the states where he won?
There's a lot of southern states, right?
That's what I'm saying. Wait till we get towards California.
So as we move
that's it.
towards west, maybe it's towards the west. I don't know, but and also New York, and more. Are there any other liberal states in the east? Is Vermont liberal?
I thought Massachusetts, but who won in Massachusetts? Was it Trump? I think Trump won.
Trump won in Massachusetts.
Wow.
Trump won Alabama, huge.
Yeah, that's probably the worst one.
Huge. Trump won Arkansas.
Oh,
he won Georgia.
See, that's deep in the heart.
Arkansas is like the heart of
I think
Tennessee.
Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, that's deep.
But he
deep
won
South.
Vermont. He won Virginia.
He won most of them. He won every one but two, was it? And the blasphemer won the other two?
He didn't win Texas, where Cruz won. He did not win Minnesota. Rubio actually won Minnesota. And he didn't win Alaska.
And this is what I was telling Aristotle here.
Mm-hmm.
As the states move towards the west, you're going to hear Trump's
But
rhetoric.
Trump won Nevada, which, Las Vegas, he's got all that support.
That's true.
He won New Hampshire. That's not the South.
But Nevada's outside of Vegas. It's a lot of rural type area country.
Okay, so I'm just curious, what's going on with this country? What's going on with the Republican Party, for one thing? It's never been like this before. What happened to the old school moderate conservative?
People are tired of it. The voters are tired of the rhetoric of the establishment, of the conservatism. They think that...
But being
they say that they're going to
asshole racist, is that representative of our country in this 21st century?
I don't think it's necessarily...
That's what I'm getting. That Trump represents our nation, and that's a bad message.
No, I don't think it's necessarily representative of the American people. I think what the people are sending a message.
All right, let me play this clip and then you tell me what you think about that.
We're going to be out on the streets of LA today. I've got a Trump pamphlet here, but I've replaced all the quotes with Hitler quotes. We're going to go find some Trump supporters and see if they can tell the difference. How you doing today?
Good, good. Thanks for stopping me.
You're a Trump supporter, right?
Of course I am.
Perfect.
Go Trump.
Go Trump. Good. You're a supporter of Trump, correct?
Absolutely. Take a look at this tie.
Oh, wow. Donald Trump tie. I wanted to read you a couple quotes and kind of get your feelings on them and kind of see how you felt about what he was saying.
Sure.
Anyone who sees and paints a sky green and fields blue ought to be sterilized. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, there's a lot of people that should be sterilized according to Donald Trump, so sure.
Sterilized.
The sky should be blue.
That's probably true.
Can you read it to me one more time?
Sure. How fortunate for governments, so how good for the governments, that the people they administer, the people they take care of, don't actually think. Don't think.
You look at the Democratic Party and they prove that. That's why I'm voting for Trump.
He's a smart man. I mean, he's got the world by the balls right now. I mean, he has a lot of money. He's very influential because of his money and what he's done with, his empire.
Humanitarianism is the expression of stupidity and cowardice. Kind of makes sense. He supports war and he wants to make sure that we're the strongest country, right?
Yeah, I would guess.
The more economic difficulties increase, the more immigration will be seen as a burden. Do you think that that's a correct assumption? That's what he's going to try and do with immigration?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as our economic system starts improving, we don't have to worry about the immigrants anymore. They'll go away.
Who says I am not under the special protection of God? What do you think about that? Do you think...
I feel like that's okay.
That's okay?
If Trump's an atheist, that's okay.
Sure.
It's totally cool.
He's under the protection of God. Good. I do not see why man should not be as cruel as nature. Well, why do you think he comes up with that?
Oh, man is the cruelest animal.
I see.
Great liars are also great magicians. Wow. Well, I think that, he's going to lie in any way, probably to, support the country, to keep the country going.
Good.
There'll be good lies, So
you support everything that he's kind of said in this pamphlet here and in these quotes, right?
Of course. I'm a Trump fan.
Because Trump, because Trump said it. Do you support these quotes then? You support Trump?
I support him.
Yeah.
I actually changed them, and they're all quotes from Hitler.
You made this pamphlet and did that? Oh, my God. I'm definitely not down with racism.
Okay, so you're not a Hitler fan. That's good.
No,
it's a good thing. Good thing, not a Hitler fan. These are actually all quotes from Hitler, and I just replaced them in this pamphlet.
I'd say you're lying to me.
They are, though. they're quotes from Hitler. So do you still support Trump?
Yeah, but I don't support Hitler.
Well,
but you just said
you support these quotes, all right?
Well, if Donald Trump said him, I'd support him.
Hitler actually did good things. He created the Volkswagen. Whoa. Folks. It's for the folks.
It's for the folks.
Volkswagen.
So there you go, Steven. Trump represents the majority of America.
That's true. He represents the majority so far that's voted.
They support Hitler/Trump. Although I think the whole comparison between Trump and Hitler is a stretch.
Well, so, I'm saying that the Trump supporters aren't all that bright, right? So that's one of my points.
That's what that says.
Right, but
there.
Yeah, and so what I'm saying is...
It doesn't really say anything about Trump as much as it does about the supporters, right?
And that's what Trump knows. So he is this magician liar.
Wait, you don't think that the supporters vote for Trump for a reason, right?
What is that reason?
Well, they support the things that he says. Otherwise, you wouldn't vote for him. Building a wall,
they don't
being
support,
racist.
That guy
the Ku
just
Klux
proved
Klan
they don't really even care what he has to say.
The Ku Klux, but whatever he says, they'll support it. Basically, that's what
but they don't really support any. There's no particular reason that they support him. They just support him just because his name is Trump.
So you
because
think
he's a celebrity.
So you think
it's the most popular?
Well, look at his last name.
So maybe I'm
Trump's all.
So maybe I'm giving this too much credit to the human race that they don't even think about what Trump says. They just support him because he's
exactly.
Well, and my other point before the guy came on was that it doesn't matter what he has to say. They're tired of the government and the Republican establishment saying that there's going to be these huge changes and nothing happening.
But nothing's going to happen with Trump. He's not going to do anything.
But they don't know that because all they know is Trump doesn't mind speaking. He will speak his mind at any given moment. And that's extreme to them. That means that there might actually still be a chance for change. Because he's different. He's a celebrity. He has a reputation, whereas all the other guys like Rubio, Christie, Carson, all those guys, they're just
talking points and blah blah blah, political platitudes.
Yeah.
But Trump says racist things, ban Muslims and build a wall, and people are behind that.
And the interior core of the deep South red parts of these states, what are they? Happen to be a little bit racist, maybe.
Let me play that. I want to say Chompy's Deli's clip, but it's Noam Chomsky.
Noam Chomsky.
Chomsky.
There should be a sandwich there.
Yeah, I know.
Chomsky.
Can you see a Donald Trump presidency?
Can I see it? I think it would be, if he means what he says, not just the things you mentioned, but much more serious ones, it's virtually a death knell for the species. Every Republican candidate in the primaries, and Trump specifically, deny that global warming is taking place, or at least that we should do anything about it.
And Michelle Bachmann said she was the one who admitted it in 2012, and she said it was God's punishment for homosexuality or something like that.
I mean, she's far off the spectrum, but I'm talking about the mainstream. All of them say either it's not happening or we shouldn't do anything about it. And they're acting to try to undermine anything that might deal with it even moderately. So, for example, take the Supreme Court just a couple of weeks ago. The right-wing justices, at that time there were 5, now 4 with Scalia's death, they violated long-standing precedent, went out of their way to effectively block efforts to reduce emissions from coal plants. They gave arguments, but the fundamental reason is just the unwillingness of today's Republican organization. I hesitate to call them a party even, to address this question. This is critical for the survival of the species. I mean, support for torture is bad enough. The idea of getting Mexico to build a wall is grotesque. But this is lethal. And why is it happening? Well, I think we have to ask, where is the support for Trump coming from? If there isn't careful data, but it seems to be substantially lower middle class, relatively uneducated, white males mostly. These are the same sectors of the population that are suffering something unprecedented in modern history, increase in mortality. That's an astonishing fact. These are sectors of the population who see no hope. The hope for the future has declined for the first time, maybe in history. I mean, I'm old enough to remember the Depression, which was objectively much worse than today, but it was a hopeful period. That's not the attitude today. The people who are coming to the Trump rallies, as far as you can tell, are people to a large extent who feel that everything's been taken away from them. And there is, as you mentioned, a strong element of white supremacy. One demographic fact is that the white population, pretty soon, in the foreseeable future, will actually be a minority. So they are taking our country away from us. There's always been, way back, a bitter anti-immigrant extremism. But this is real, and this is part of the cheering for Trump when he says build a wall. And if you think about it, what is that wall supposed to do? In fact, what is Obama doing? Obama has been pressuring Mexico to keep the Central Americans away from our border. Why are people fleeing Central America? Because the U.S. destroyed Central America, especially under the Reagan years.
So there you go.
It's a little pot shot at Reagan.
Yeah. Blow.
And threw Republicans under the bus.
I think he kind of got into something there. I think maybe the white males here, that white supremacists, there's a tipping scale. I think it might be where they represent 50% of the population right now, and people that had immigrated to America represent another 50%. So we're at that tipping point in history where we might actually overtake these supremacists or these extremists, and they feel threatened. And at this point, they're going to come out in masses and droves to ensure their survival.
And that's why the Ku Klux Klan is endorsing Trump?
Yeah,
and that's why he denied knowing who they were.
Oh, what's the Ku Klux Klan?
Oh, right. Well, yeah, for right before
I need to know
Super
who
Tuesday,
they are.
That was part of his strategy to at least cater to that part of the audience.
Did you see that clip where he blatantly ignored the black voter? He was holding up a sign to sign I think it was a sign, and he wanted Trump to shake his hand or sign the sign.
No.
And he just walked past him.
Even though
there was a sea of white people and there's one black guy, and then Trump just ignored him.
So he knows this. Trump is a businessman. He knows that his supporters are uneducated. To play into that, he doesn't want to talk policies. Well, politics, but he doesn't want to talk policies. He doesn't want to bore these uneducated folks, because as soon as he starts sounding like Rubio or Jeb or I got a plan for this, I know what I'm going to do, you start to put those uneducated folks to sleep.
But what Chompsky
and you don't want to give anybody some fuel to say anything substantial against him, like talking about his policies.
Yeah, you keep
If there's nothing out there to criticize, then all you can talk about is the size of his hands.
Yeah, and you keep shifting, right? You keep avoiding the topic.
But do you think that Chompsky is correct when he says that majority of the people who are voting for Trump feel like there's no hope?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's driving them. They think that
Trump's gonna. So the media outlets that they listen to, that they hear, say that the sky is falling, right? That these terrorists are out to get you, and the only way you can protect yourself is with your Second Amendment right.
Okay, so it's about guns and violence and bombing people.
So that's the uneducated for you, right?
Yeah, and the economy being bad,
still bad.
Years.
They still don't have
somehow
jobs.
Trump's gonna save us all.
And the unskilled work that these people can get are being taken by those immigrants, those illegals.
Yeah, at the same time, you're being forced to get health insurance.
That's extra money that you just don't have, and
you want to pay for your phone, not health insurance.
I got McDonald's right across the street. I got food here. What do I need health insurance for? I can afford myself just fine with McDonald's.
Blasphemer.
What a blasphemer.
Yeah, I don't have. Do I have that clip? No, I don't.
We need that. We need to hear that blasphemer.
You are a blasphemer.
There we go. All right. That's so refreshing.
Do you think Trump is like Hitler, or do you think that's a far extreme comparison to make? Because that seems to be the new thing now.
Compare everybody to Hitler.
Yeah. Adolf Hitler, by the way.
Well,
not
so
there's potential. I think the concerning thing is there is a potential for him to be like Hitler.
Really?
Whereas other candidates, you can probably you're safe to say there's no way they're going to be like Hitler.
Like Kasich or Couscous.
Yeah, like even Rubio, he's not going to be Hitler.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz a little bit, but
carpet bombing, that whole carpet bombing thing with Cruz. That's a little scary.
But Trump, there is a lot of potential for him to be like Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
But
he'll stick off other international leaders. He'll try to stir things up with Mexico. I sent you the clip of Vicente Fox's thoughts on building that wall and having Mexico pay for it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But it's, that's what he would do, is stir up all this resentment.
Plus, he already has, right? I mean, all these world leaders already see the potential for America to just go down the drain.
And, I mean, my opinion is if Trump does get elected president,
Move to Canada.
All these Islamic terrorists around the world are going to get so much fuel, so much incentive and motivation to carry out a terrorist attack. And I don't think you could blame them if Trump actually won the presidency. I think that America would actually have it coming if that were to come.
That's what they asked for.
And Trump might not realize what he's even doing. I mean, I think this is all a big game to him. I think Chompsky, he makes a good point about him maybe not really meaning what he's saying. I mean,
well, if he means what he says.
But at this point, and I think Plato there makes a good point, that it's too late. The fact that he's already said them, everybody's already getting agitated around the world. So it is kind of too late. Even if now he'd have to become president and then take back all of what he said right away. I mean, I don't know how you do that exactly. I take it back. I'm not really going to build a wall. I love you guys. I love all you illegals.
I love Mexicans. I love Muslims.
I was just kidding. I was just trying to get in the office, and now I can make everything better.
Here's a clip.
Part of everyday life. There's a long border with Mexico, and there's a lot of shared, relationships and values and a lot of interests with people across the border. So today I want to play some sound from you. The former president of Mexico, Vicente Fox, was on Fusion with Jorge Ramos, and he just lashed out at Donald Trump and what Donald Trump has been saying.
How dare he lash out?
Saying about the wall that he wants to build and the fact that he wants Mexico to pay for it. Listen.
I declare, I'm not going to pay for that wall. He should pay for it. He's got the money.
Are you afraid that he's going to be the next president of the United States? What would that mean? What would that mean for Mexico?
No, not at all. Democracy cannot take us to crazy people that doesn't know what's going on in the world today.
Oh, wow. Unfortunately.
So, I think that represents how a lot of, international people look at this situation. They're thinking, he's not going to win. This is just a crazy stunt. That's not going to happen. But if he actually does, everybody's going to lose all respect for United States.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's just going to damage a whole lot of international relations.
You could lose respect for the United States, but we have the biggest guns. And we will smoke you out.
We're going to have to use them.
And we will have to be prepared.
Well, I think sanctions is what's going to hurt us even more. Not doing trades, not wanting to negotiate.
But that's the solution.
The economy, the stock market, right?
That's what's going on maybe right now. But if Trump is the president, it won't be about sanctions. It'll be about getting nuked.
All right, let's.
Bright outlook for the nation.
There we go. But Hillary Clinton, she can defend us.
There might be a chance. Right now, Cruz is trailing by 98 delegates.
Only 98 out of how many?
They need 1,237 to win. So Trump's at 329.
If I were to vote between those three, it would be Rubio.
What about between
Sanders and Clinton? Feel the burn.
Well, actually, Feel the Burn is not going to do it.
No.
Not going to happen.
No, he has no chance.
Well, because of the way we've already went through this, right? But the way it's set up, right? The way the Democratic Party set up the delegates. I think Hillary Clinton's got like 90% of them right now.
Well, you might have some super delegate that pulls in favor for Sanders.
It's still possible, I guess.
I have a casting clip for the next Star Wars. I'm going to change topics slightly. For the next Star Wars, Noam Chompsky, he was going to play one of the Sith Lords. Here's a scene.
I think what's actually happened is that during the whole so-called neoliberal period, last generation, both political parties have drifted to the right. Today's Democrats are what used to be called moderate Republicans. The Republicans have just drifted off the spectrum. They're so committed to extreme wealth and power that they cannot get votes.
I think.
Yeah, you should add the breathing.
Sith Chompsky.
Sith Chompsky. And then he's got some major vocal fray.
Sounds like he's gonna croak.
Sounds like he turned into a robot.
Those are his last dying wishes. All right, so let's talk about
cats.
Something a little bit brighter.
We can talk about spring training, cold brew.
So what is cold brew?
Well, do you have a clip to play from?
Oh, I think
Pence,
I do.
or-
That was a long clip. I had to cut it down.
Yeah, it was a long 5.5 minute.
So obsessed with cold brew.
You guys still tired? Where's the cold brew, man?
Hey guys, we are in Old Town Scottsdale and we're about to go check out Cartel Coffee Lab.
Cartel.
The cartel.
Es muy bien.
Es muy bien porque es muy importante.
I just want to say that for some reason in Arizona, there's been a major shortage of cold brew. And I'm just hoping that now that we found a cartel that's close to the stadium, maybe we can find a cold brew fix. Because there's a problem here in Arizona. I've had like 3 days where I've tried to get cold brew and they're all out at like 7 in the morning. How are you all out at 7 in the morning? Cartel won't be out. I know this. I believe in you, Cartel. Cartel and us have trouble with, like, we went the wrong way in the airport. Now we're going the wrong way. Where's the cold brew, man? Come on, say something.
Found it. The cartel.
Let's move on to the cold brew.
Sipping on my cold brew. Ooh, this sun is.
And I mean, that is smooth. It's got like the chocolate, it's got the balance.
Oh, that's a good
That's
cold
like,
brew.
this is like a 10. It's like a refreshing
That
cold
actually might, yeah, refreshing cold brew.
brew. With like the perfect coffee flavors that you love. And it kind of has like a chocolatey, dude, this is the bombest cold brew.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the best cold brew I think
come
I've
get your cold
tasted.
brew at Cartel. In Arizona,
Cold
there's a
brew,
shortage of it.
Cartel.
They at least have it here. I'm gonna be here every day getting this bad boy.
This stuff is good.
10. I give it a 10. A 10.
Well, he won't be able to go anymore with his Achilles heel.
He could walk.
Yeah, well, too much running around looking for cartel.
I know.
Yeah.
El cartel.
So-
All right. So what the hell is
Didn't we
cold
go
brew?
there? We went there.
I think we played
there's an
with,
Echo
with
Coffee.
Jamie, right?
Well, I just remember going with Myra, with you.
Huh. It was Old
Think.
Town area?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we went there, but we didn't get cold brew. I don't remember getting cold brew. I think that's where we were working on Gore.
So you can go up
that's
to the
right.
counter
Okay,
and say,
I remember now, yeah.
You can go up to the counter and say, "Can I get a cold brew?"
Well,
A cold one.
Will they give you a beer?
So that's what I was trying to figure out. According to this definition, a cup or mug of tea or coffee. And then
Oh.
there's a kind of beer. Non-alcoholic brews.
So it could be beer or coffee.
So that they say the main difference between it's pretty much iced coffee, but the main difference between cold brew and iced coffee is the temperature that it's brewed at. So cold brew is brewed cold, it's never heated, while iced coffee is normal coffee that's then cooled down.
Oh, okay. So you heat up the coffee, then you pour it over ice.
Right, that's iced coffee.
And then
but
cold-
cold brew, the water's never heated. You just brew the coffee in cold water.
How do you brew coffee in cold water? You just pour cold water over grounded beans,
Yeah.
coffee beans?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
I thought to get the flavor, the oils out of the beans, you need hot water.
Well, that's probably why it tastes different, and some people like it.
Oh, okay.
So it's a different taste. Originally, I guess cold brew wasn't very popular.
Is it a trending thing now? Is this like
that's the thing.
so it's a
becoming trendy.
hipster neckbeard thing?
Scraggle,
Yep, you got one of those
beard.
scraggly beards, you probably drink cold brew.
Definitely
With the
drink
skinny
cold brew.
jeans and their vinyl records.
In this big thermos mug.
Yeah. With an obscure philosophy book. Hey, they're taking all the things that I like.
But he wasn't very descriptive of the cold brew. He just said it was kind of a velvety.
Yeah, velvety.
Chocolatey.
What does that mean?
Chocolatey,
Velvety,
velvety
chocolatey.
finish.
It's like a chocolate milkshake or something, or like a
I don't
chocolate.
Do they add chocolate? Wouldn't that be a mocha?
Mocha.
You
brew?
haven't tried to run into Pence to.
I tried to, and then I just got too tired.
Yeah.
It's too early to wake up. You have to be there at 7. Is that what he said? Be there at 7?
I think so. I think he
Jeez.
goes at 7,
So-
gets his cold brew.
So I need to wake up at 6.
I think he's continuously drinking coffee. He might actually intravenously be hooked up. That's why
Here,
he's-
connect me to the
cold brew.
Cold
so
brew
it goes directly
Hook
into
me
the
up.
bloodstream.
'Cause
He seemed very hyped up during that commercial.
Yeah, I was early in the morning too.
Jeez.
Maybe we'll go early in the morning and look for him.
Yeah.
Stalk
6 a.m.
him. Give me your cold brew.
But then they said that the airport one was better, which is weird.
No, they gave it a 10. They said a 10.
The airport one was a 10.
Oh, a 10. Okay. Where's my cold brew, man? Where's the cold brew? Spring training or game?
Game.
Alrighty. That's a nasty game.
Oh,
I have to warn you.
Is it we going Rubio Trump levels?
Yes, exactly, yes.
It's like the Republicans.
I don't know. Actually, this was written by Gore. Heideco. Gore. No, Heideco. Heideco, yeah.
Heideco. Okay.
It's kind of raunchy. It's a would you rather.
All right.
Took it to the extreme level. I figured the only way to get listeners or supporters of ASP Stuff Radio is if I
You have to stoop to Trump's
down to
level.
that grotesque, childish mentality.
All right. It's not. There's no Snuggle Bear in here.
No Snuggle Bear.
No Pillsbury
No
Doughboy.
none of that.
Okay.
This is hardcore. Ready?
All right. Okay.
Okay. Game. Whose hand would you rather shake? And here are 2 scenarios. Here's the first scenario. I couldn't phrase it as a question. It was too ungrammatical, so I had to create it as a scenario. But whose hand would you rather shake? First scenario. Donald Trump just finished his orange tan spray. He's naked, and his body is dripping with excess orange chemical liquids. His orange balls itch, and he vigorously scratches them before you shake his hand. That's the first scenario.
This is bad imagery.
The second scenario. It was tough writing this. I mean, reading it from Heideco. The second scenario. Now, I should preface. I've heard radio shows. They've seen Marco Rubio popping pills in his mouth. I don't know if you've seen that. Have you seen that? I don't know. He's always sweating and he seems a little awkward and tense. They suspect that he's doing drugs or coke because he's from Florida. He's from Florida and he's Cuban.
That's what they do. There's a cartel there.
Anyway, that's just speculation. So keep that in mind. Cartel. All right, so here's scenario 2. Marco Rubio does some coke lines off of a dirty public restroom toilet seat, then takes a drink out of a grimy water fountain and keeps wiping his cotton mouth and runny nose, then scratches his sweaty butt crack. Huh. So you have Trump, who just scratched his orange.
Can I pick Bernie Sanders?
What is Bernie Sanders up to?
Bernie Sanders sticks his finger deep down inside his old 70-year-old ear and pulls out some wax and wipes it off his neck.
I'll go for that. That's the one I want. Give me Bernie's wax.
No, that's not the. You gotta shake either Donald Trump's orange hand or Rubio's.
Do we have that gun thing?
The gun noise?
The gun noise.
Why? That's the other option?
The option is just to just commit suicide.
So you don't want to play the game? You don't want to answer?
It's too tough. Paul, you have to answer first because I don't know.
Man, is Guantanamo Bay open?
Are they in Guantanamo Bay?
They're in Guantanamo Bay. Guadalajara Bay.
Gitmo.
Yeah. I think I'd have to go of those two evildoers. I would have to go with Rubio.
Rubio? Okay.
It's a little bit, a little bit cleaner. He seems a little more well groomed.
Even that butt crack, huh?
Even with that, I think I would have to choose that over Trump scratching himself with
balls.
The orange body spray.
You might die.
You might die.
You might die.
You might die.
Die.
That's soot.
Sucking in that orange soot.
Okay, Steven.
I'll have to go with Rubio because
really.
Yeah.
I see you got smaller hands.
It is a lesser of two evils.
You would actually be able to verify.
Yeah, it's the lesser of two evils.
I would actually choose, surprisingly, to shake Trump's hand.
Oh, Hitler.
Because keep in mind that
it's like shaking Hitler's hand.
He's doing dirty. He's doing a coke line off of a dirty public restroom toilet, and you don't know what's on that toilet.
Yeah, but that was his nose.
And then he's drinking.
So you only have to really worry about his groomed butt crack. Whether
how do you know it's a
thoroughly wiped?
How do you know it's a groomed butt?
We don't. We really don't.
That's pretty
So
bad.
you'd go for those orange balls.
The orange chicken. Why is he so orange? Did anyone figure that out?
I think Jon Stewart figured out it was Cheetos. Rubbed some Cheetos on his face.
Oh, that's right, yeah. After eating a bag of Cheetos.
Oh, that was Colbert. Colbert rubbed it all over.
Do you have a kid-friendly game off the top of your head to balance out?
I think we have to end on that sweaty ball.
The sweaty
note.
Sweaty orange balls.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe whose hand would you rather shake? Barney the dinosaur or Big Bird? There you go.
That'll make it kid friendly.
After they shook Trump's hand.
Well, I'll go up to Big Bird and I'll say, "Hey."
Oh man,
poor Big Bird.
Jeez, this is not kid friendly anymore.
Man,
I did.
So now Barney's only up for.
But I don't like purple people. I'm anti-purple.
racist?
I don't like the color of purple.
So you like
skin.
yellow
I
instead.
like yellow, feathery birds. I like yellow skinned people instead, or yellow skinned birds.
But this is after he shook the sweaty.
I would shake Big Bird's hand after I shot him.
After? Does that kill the contaminants? All right.
Okay. I think we went off on a deep tangent of darkness.
Yeah. I always end up in the dark.
Yeah.
Dark matters.
Dark matter. Well, no more of that, Hideko.
But now you want to talk about dark matters and dark energy.
Yeah, that was...
We asked Neil deGrasse Tyson to run for president.
I think I might have to. It's just there's so much bad happening in the world right now. And I think if we look into the depth of the universe, we will find that we are all one. We started as one at a single point, singularity, all at the center of the universe.
Do you think there's hope for our nation?
I think if Trump is elected, do you have that clip of the gun thing?
Oh,
I'll have to.
So you would kill yourself too?
Yeah.
No.
I think we would need to build a rocket ship and go to Mars. Or build a rocket ship and send Trump to Mars.
Oh, I like that option. Just send them away.
The orange surface.
Let's just send away all Republicans and Democrats and the entire
blasphemer.
Yeah. I don't know.
You are a blasphemer.
Is that's a part of that's a bone, right?
A what?
A human bone.
The femur? Oh yeah. You are a femur.
All right. Well, what are other topics for next week possible?
Usually I get topics during the week.
Well, topics we didn't talk about in the past.
In the past?
Didn't we talk about hijabs or something? Well, that was a while back.
What was the story again? You remember? You sent me the story.
Well, I think I think Aristotle here was thinking that because Muslim women wear hijabs, that it's kind of representative of the men and Muslim men being tyrannical against their women, or
okay,
it's not really their self-choice, but they've been brainwashed into thinking that they need to wear hijabs.
Oh, I think I remember this is coming out of the ISIS
fallout.
What was it? Paris attacks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a backlash within the Muslim community. People were anti-Muslim, anti-Islam, and I guess women who wear hijabs were being harassed by ignorant rednecks, truck drivers,
Trump being cut off,
Trump supporters,
trumpeters.
And I guess this one woman, she was wearing her hijab, and her husband told her, well, maybe you shouldn't wear it. Take it off, out of, for your safety, so you don't have to be harassed anymore. And I guess that sparked some controversy in general. That is, should a woman be able to take off her hijab? And she says, no, that's anti-religious. That's a violation of our religion. What's the Muhammad or
Muhammad?
Muhammad. It's Allah.
That's Prophet Muhammad.
Prophet Muhammad. Yeah. And I thought, no, that was written by man. That's so other men won't look at you and cheat on you or
I think he
seduce
had quotes
you.
from the Quran.
I did have quotes from the Quran that actually supported that, and it has nothing to do with actual worship of Allah. The Quran is just a stipulation of rules written by man to protect their wives.
But why did they? Do you remember why they wear the hijabs or why they had to? Did it say?
Well, it depends. For them, they thought it was a matter of respect for Allah. But in the text, when you read the Quran, it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with the religion itself. It's more about just following guidelines or rules that were set forth by the man.
Oh, okay.
But isn't there this, just like with the Bible, the idea that the men who wrote the Quran were inspired by Allah, and so that's really Allah's word.
Right, so there's that argument too. So yeah, the Bible or Quran was written by man, but it was written by prophets, those who were had spiritual revelation or divine revelation, mystical experiences, like Moses on Sinai, and he spoke with God, and then he brought back the tablets with the 10 Commandments, and so it wasn't just any ordinary man like Neil or whatever. It was Neil deGrasse, of course.
Right.
It was written by a spiritual being, one who's
divine,
and so there you go. Yeah.
Well, there's another perspective where if a Muslim woman takes off their hijab, they would be stooping to these rednecks level and buying into it, and doing and playing into that whole fear.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they should take off their hijab, although you risk some catastrophic consequences, some ignorant.
Yeah, if these gun toters want to do something.
Because this is what the terrorists want.
Yeah. And these militia groups, or what's a PC way of saying
white terrorists? Freedom fighters?
Freedom fighters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Freedom fighters.
That's what they are, freedom fighters. Yeah, they're allowed to. It's their God-given right to use those guns.
Yeehaw! I support Hitler. I mean Trump.
Same thing.
Yeah, so about the same.
Yeah, Trump, he committed genocide just like Hitler did. They're very similar.
Yeah, well, he hasn't yet.
Not yet.
Not quite.
Yet. He's getting there, I guess.
I love how the former Mexican president, what did he say?
F off, F that man, or something.
There's no way you're paying for that effing wall.
There's no way I'm paying for that.
He's paying for it. He's paying for it.
I'm not paying for that stuffing wall. He pay for it. He
rich man.
I'm not paying for that stuffing wall.
He's starting to sound Middle Eastern.
You stuff yourself with that wall.
Fighting
I
words.
think they should start like a hand contest, like in
Oh,
settling. No, for real, like actual
Handshaking?
hand, like no, just like
maybe arm wrestling.
Where's that quote that I have?
You have the most beautiful hands.
You have the most beautiful hands.
Like modeling hand,
Yeah,
like
like
Costanza.
Costanza. Like if you don't have beautiful hands, then you
Or-
lose.
It's like the NFL Combine. They measure, they do measure the size of their hands to see
for the ball?
like for quarterbacks. You got to be able to hold the football, throw it well. For presidential candidates, measure their hands, their height, their size.
Do they qualify?
That's important.
Rubio's a little guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't qualify.
No, he's not big enough.
Sorry, Rubio, you cannot hold the football.
You must be this tall.
You have to
run
palm
for
a
president.
basketball.
What could he play with his height and build? What kind of sport could he?
He could ride Jockey the Horse, right? Is that
or a golf?
Toby
can?
Maguire or
Toby? Yeah.
He'd be a good leadoff hitter in baseball.
Yeah,
Little
I
second
think
baseman.
he has good speed.
Good hands, soft
good-
hands.
Soft hands.
Could turn the double play.
He seems like the guy that has those sweaty hands. You know those. What do you call those?
Well,
Damp-
you're the one who put Trump with the sweaty hands.
You know what do you call clammy hands. He seems like
Clammed?
he has clammy hands.
Just everything about Rubio is very sweaty.
What about Ted Cruz? What kind of position do you think he'd play in the Alamo sports? Tennis?
No.
He'd be like the tennis player who never wins.
And he
There's
cries
always
like a
lose.
baby and throws his racket against the
Yeah.
floor.
Blasphemer. That was a
blasphemer.
out.
But I want to ask about this.
Yeah, I don't think Cruz presents any athletic ability.
No.
Ping pong? Table tennis? might be good at that.
Nah. What about
But have quick feet?
Quick feet, yeah. Trump, I could see him playing like maybe a
Target practice with the gun.
water polo, and then the pool would turn yellow or orange.
Cheeto.
From all the Cheetos.
Cheeto powder to infuse the pool.
Water polo with Trump and his Speedos.
All right.
Cheeto Speedos.
He's got a bag of Cheetos, a bag of Speedos, and wearing Cheetos.
These are just really bad images to put on.
We might lose some listeners.
This is what draws people away.
Yeah. Big Bird, come back. Big Bird. Okay.
You already
Did
shot
you see
him.
Sesame Street's going to be on HBO?
What?
It's no
Yeah,
longer
actually,
on PBS.
I did hear that. But they're trying to appeal to families.
That's news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the softer side of HBO.
Oh,
The
I thought it was the
snuggly bear
opposite. I
side.
thought they wanted to make it more edgy.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's what they want to do.
I don't know. I don't know the producer.
Well, that sucks. So then you won't be able to watch Sesame Street anymore?
You got to pay for it.
Wow.
Oh,
Only
turned into business.
Yeah, so now we're going to have even more uneducated lower class Americans.
Yeah.
Because
A
that's
long way from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and
Reading Rainbow.
Fraggle Rock.
Ugh, man. DeGrasse, help us. Can you bring us back to a time of
talking painter.
Okay, settle down. I will
Run for president,
I think
please.
it's about time I put my name in the ballot.
He sort of sounds like that painter. Remember that painting guy
yeah.
with the
Oh,
afro?
yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
he does sound like the,
Oh,
the
look at
Afro
that,
Man.
that painting right there. The stars and the cosmic galaxies. Oh,
There's a nice little tree. That's very peaceful.
yeah.
Just like that.
The microphone really helps
Just calm
with the
us.
soft,
calm
velvety
down.
voice.
Calm down, everyone. Relax.
Calm
Everything's
down while I drop the mic.
Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine.
That's who we need
Yeah.
leading the country.
So is it too late to have people come run for president, or is it?
It's definitely too late.
It's too late. That's it.
People would have voted for
Unless
Biden.
you want to be independent, you can run. You can. I think you can still enter your name for.
Colbert would have won.
that's-
Oh yeah. Why? Yeah. Why is that impossible? Why can't we get someone like?
Colbert knows it's too stressful. Biden could have run. Biden would have won.
or George Clooney or Jon Stewart.
No, that actors are too crazy.
Yeah, but they're not crazier than Trump.
Yeah.
Well, he's an actor too. He had his own show.
He's a reality.
You have the most beautiful hands.
Wow.
Reality TV star.
Mm-hmm. Gonna make it for the 7th inning?
I think so. Do it.
I guess we can make it. Right?
I got bikes. We can ride real quick to the game.
See if we can catch another home run.
What's the score?
It's 5-1 Texas in
Ugh.
the 6th inning.
I think when we started that Would You Rather game, things went downhill.
Is that when they started scoring?
Yeah.
Too much bad imagery. Can't focus.
But that's what's popular. That's what's in. That's what's going to get your votes.
What, body spray tan?
Yeah, and talking about hand size.
Going to those lows.
Yep.
Yeah.
The depths of humanity.
Below the belt lows.
Yeah. The underground.
You think Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are going to talk about the size of their hands? I don't think so.
What if they're running against Donald? They might have to.
They might have to.
Oh, that was the other topic you mentioned, Paul. What's going on with the Republican Party? We can do that next week. Or why is it? How did it become so?
How did it come to this?
Yeah.
Well, Chompsky talked about it a little bit while he was a Sith Lord.
That's true. He was kind of put me to sleep on the first 15 seconds.
Yeah, but that's what it was. The moderation shifting.
No, the shift. The Republic.
But I think it also speaks to this whole social media generation.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's so absorbed with their phones. And
we want results
Twitter
now.
and Facebook, and they're just so dumbed down.
Yeah.
People have been raised in this type of reality with all these shows. You know, these shows started around 2000.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people grew up on this stuff, and that's who's now voting.
Mm-hmm. The millennials.
It's just a jaded sense of reality, and that's what people think is right.
I don't think the millennials are voting for the burn. No,
I think once they realize that he's not going to make it, and the free education is not going to be affordable, and
I thought it was the old fogies that were part of this problem.
There's been talk that they're shifting over to Trump. So if it's not Sanders, that's correct that they're supporting Sanders, but they realize, no chance. Well, we don't want this Clinton. She's boring. Let's go to Trump. But I think there's also an element of anxiety, short attention spans that comes into play. Mm-hmm. That's the social media helps encourage that. So yeah, I mean, put two and two together, you have short, sassy comments by Trump or sound bites about hands and being ignorant or whatever, and that's all they care about.
Like
but I don't think they would
screaming at the debate. I mean, would you hear that in 2000 election, 2004, 08?
No, completely unheard
People
of.
Going crazy like that in a debate.
But you don't hear that on the Democratic side.
Well, that's true. The Democrats are completely different. It's night and day. The Republicans are lunatics, but that's, again, going back to what Chompsky says, the extreme shift. They're no longer even considered a party. It's an insurgency of just extremists catering to anti-race.
But the thing is, if it wasn't for Trump, they wouldn't be talking about hands, right?
If it weren't for Trump? Well, these people always existed, right? And then Trump came into play, and then he's catering to those.
Well, it goes back to what's the state of the Republican Party? They feel pressure that they have to stoop to that level.
Now and there's another clip that I won't play by Chompsky, and he says that it's not just Trump. We have to keep in mind that this is the entire Republican Party. Trump is just more...
well, he's playing the party, right?
But you look at Cruz, fundamentally, he's no different than Cruz. Rubio, fundamentally, they're no different. They all want to carpet bomb. They want to, they support torture, and anti-immigration. Anti-healthcare, right? So fundamentally, they're the same. Just Trump is just a douchebag in general.
Trump could have picked either party, and he said, I'm going to go with the dumber party, because I can appeal to this dumber audience. Don't you think? Because if you look at some of what he was talking about,
like brilliant. Yeah, he's brilliant. He's a smart guy. But again, there's another Chompsky quote, or in the audio clip, he says that
Chompsky to be president.
Woohoo!
I feel like having an Ent from Lord of the Rings be president.
Yeah, that's
very slowly,
calm. You have to
deliberate. Couldn't get anything done, but he would sound smart.
Yeah.
But
there's once when the shift occurred to the extreme, when the Republicans became this insurgency, they stimulated a rise of people that had always existed. And they're like, finally, we have these people that cater to our interests, right? They've always existed. It was just a matter of time when the shift occurred. They're coming from the underground like zombies, and they're just like, oh, hope. There's hope.
Yeah,
he's gonna
great orange hope.
It was
great orange hope.
It's this stalemate between the Democrats and the Republicans, and nothing ever gets
done.
But
again, you're not listening. The Democrats are not what they used to be 10 years ago. The Democrats today's Democrats are what the Republicans used to be 10 years ago. Moderate conservatives, where they had decent policies, values, and what it meant to be conservative. Mm-hmm. Now they're Chompsky is saying they're not even in a party. They're not involved in diplomatic relations. They're not involved with parliamentary discussions. They're just carpet bombing, kill. Just blah blah
so
blah.
They want to appeal to the dumb or uneducated,
and this is exactly what
that will allow the rich part that own this party is to maintain that wealth and to keep these dumbed down voters to keep voting them in office.
Yeah, and that's the sad part, is that they don't know that it's really just supporting the 1%. It's
right.
Right. I mean, he's just a puppet, by the way. I mean, Trump's not going to do anything. I don't think he's going to build a wall.
Yeah, but I think it's a little too late when you start upsetting these world leaders like Mexico and Muslim leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You run a big risk.
We should get going.
Gonna wrap it up
because our millennials, with their short attention span,
they're done.
They're gone. They stopped in
40 minutes ago.
They left in 40 seconds
after the fish fart.
Yeah, they left.
I mean, do podcasts are we even relevant anymore? Radio and podcasts? We just stop.
Podcasts are in. It's just you gotta make a name for yourself.
Gotta know what you don't know.
Orange balls. Scratch your orange balls. Scratch your orange balls.
Too late. You needed
butt
to have said that at the beginning of the show.
Oh, damn it. All right.
Can't lead with fish stories.
Boring.
Fish farts. That is all right.
All right. With all this fish farts in my
lungs.
This is ASP Stuff Radio. Thank you for joining me,
Main Studios,
Socrates, and Plato, with all the fish farts in my lungs. This is ASP Stuff Radio signing off. We are all stuffed. We're stuffed out, up and out. Would you rather shape? And here are two scenarios. Here's the first scenario. I couldn't phrase it as a question, it's too grammatical, but it's created as a scenario. But whose hand would you rather shake? First scenario. Donald Trump just finished his orange can spray. He's naked, and his body is dripping with excess orange chemical liquid. His orange balls itch, and he vigorously scratches them before you shake his hand. That's the first scenario.
This is bad imagery.
Rio does some coke lines off of a dirty public restroom toilet seat, then takes a drink out of a grimy water fountain and keeps wiping his cotton mouth and runny nose, then scratches his sweaty butt crack. So you have Trump scratched his orange.
I pick Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders sticks his finger deep down inside his old 70-year-old ear and pulls out some wax and wipes it off his neck.
Give me Bernie's wax.
No, that's not what you gotta shake either Donald Trump's orange hand or Rubio's.
Do we have that gun?
So you want to play the game? You want to?
Oh,
Yeah. Guantanamo Bay open.
They're in Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo Bay.
I think I have those two evildoers. I would have to go with Rubio.
Rubio?
A little bit. Yeah, I give him a little more room. Even with that, I think I would have to choose Trump scratching himself. The orange one, yeah.
You might die. You might die.
It is lesser of two evils, actually. It is the lesser of two evils.
I would actually choose, surprisingly, to shake Trump's hand. Because, keep in mind that like shaking his, he's doing a coke line off the dirty public restroom toilet, and you don't know what's on that toilet. Yeah, but that was just and he's drinking, and you only have to really worry about his. And what is a groomed butt crack? How do you know it's a thoroughly white? How do you know it's a groomed butt crack? We don't. We really don't. So you go for those orange balls. Orange chicken. Why is he so orange? Anyone figure that out? I think Jon Stewart figured out was Cheetos. Cheetos. His face. Let's try it. After eating a bag of Cheetos, do you have a kid-friendly game off the top of your head? Balance out that on that sweaty ball, sweaty orange ball.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe whose hand would you rather shake? Barney the dinosaur or Big Bird? After they shook Trump.
I'll go with the Big Bird and I'll say, hey.
I think those Alvin down Barney. But I don't like purple. Anti-Trump.